Hello, my name is Dr. Beatriz Vita, a urologist with over 30 years of clinical practice here in Brazil. And today, I'm going to reveal a secret to you that the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to know. There's a simple food that you can buy at any market or supermarket that has the power to completely transform your intimate life. I'm talking about firmer erections, more pleasure, more vitality, like you've gone back to your 20s. Do you remember the last time that moment of personal pleasure gave you the same sensation as when you were 20? Well, it's not your fault. Let me explain something I've learned over these 30-plus years treating men of all ages. What you put on your plate directly determines how your body functions, including the intensity of your erections, the depth of your pleasure, and the power of your climax. Let me be direct with you. Sensitivity decreases over time. That special moment that used to be intense starts to feel a bit lackluster, right? The sensitivity feels wrapped in cotton. The release becomes monotonous, disappointing. And look, I see men like this every day in my office. Men in their 50s, 60s, 70s who tell me exactly that. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. And I'm not talking about pills. I'm talking about real food. Foods that nature gave us, which work better than many medications out there. So, stick with me until the end of this video because I'm going to show you exactly what these 5 powerful foods are. And look, this isn't just talk. Everything I'm saying here is based on scientific studies, serious research, and most importantly, my experience from over 3 decades treating men with these issues. Why nutrition determines your intimate performance. Let's start with the first food, and this one is the king. Beetroot. That's right, that red root your grandmother made into salads. But let me tell you why beetroot is so powerful. Beetroot is full of natural nitrates, and when you eat it, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide. Now, pay attention to this part because this is where the magic happens. Nitric oxide relaxes and dilates your blood vessels, all of them, including those responsible for your erection. You know that famous little blue pill? Well, it works by increasing nitric oxide in your body. Beetroot does the same thing, but naturally. It's practically a free natural remedy you buy at the market. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine followed 87 men aged 55 to 72 for 2 years. Know what the researchers found? Men who consumed beetroot juice daily for 12 weeks saw significant improvements in erection quality. I'm talking firmer erections that lasted longer and with more sensitivity. Now, let me make an important observation here, because a lot of people get this wrong. The right amount is 200 to 250 milliliters of beetroot juice per day. That's just a glass, okay? You don't need to drink liters. In fact, never take absurd amounts of anything, because even too much of a good thing can be harmful. And look, there's a right way to consume it for maximum effect. Ideally, drink the beetroot juice about 2 hours before that special moment. Why? Because that's how long it takes your body to convert the nitrates from the beetroot into nitric oxide. It's like programming your body to perform at its peak. You can drink it pure, mix it with orange for better taste, or even eat cooked beetroot in a salad. The key is to consume it regularly. I always tell my patients, make beetroot your best friend. But beetroot offers more than just nitric oxide. It's also rich in antioxidants that fight cellular aging. And look, that benefits all the cells in your body, including those down there. The more you protect your cells from aging, the better everything functions. Now, let's move to the second food on our list, spinach. And I know what you're thinking, oh, Dr. Beatriz, spinach is Popeye stuff. Well, Popeye knew what he was doing. Spinach is the testosterone factory of the plant world. It's incredibly rich in magnesium, and magnesium is essential for your body's testosterone production. And look, after 40, testosterone naturally starts to drop. It's normal, it's part of aging, but we can slow that decline with the right diet. A 2011 Italian study showed that men who consumed more magnesium had significantly higher testosterone levels. And testosterone isn't just about sexual desire. No, it's about energy, drive, muscle mass, mood. It's about feeling like a real man. Now, an important note that one of my followers raised in the comments. It's true that beetroot and spinach contain oxalates, and excess oxalates can strain the kidneys. So if you have kidney issues or a history of kidney stones, talk to your doctor before ramping up your intake of these foods, okay? But for most people, moderate consumption won't cause any problems. You can eat spinach sautéed, in an omelet, in a green smoothie, or tossed in a salad. I recommend consuming it at least 3 times a week. And here's a tip. If you sauté the spinach with a drizzle of olive oil, your body absorbs the nutrients better. Let's go to the third food, nuts and seeds. These are true energy bombs for your intimate life, and I'll explain why. Walnuts, chestnuts, almonds, they're all rich in zinc. And zinc, my friend, is fundamental for testosterone production and sperm quality. Without enough zinc, your body simply can't produce testosterone properly. A University of Michigan study showed that men with low zinc levels had weaker erections and less sexual desire. When those men started supplementing with zinc, guess what? Erections improved, desire returned, energy increased. But there's an important detail here, and I thank one of my followers who raised this in the comments. Doctor, I'm 76 and I don't have teeth anymore. How am I supposed to eat nuts? Great question. And look, the answer is simple. You can consume natural peanut butter, cashew butter, or even grind the nuts in a blender and mix them with yogurt or a smoothie. You don't need to chew. The key is getting the nutrients. Nuts are also rich in arginine, an amino acid that your body uses to produce, you guessed it, nitric oxide again. See how everything connects? That's why a balanced diet makes such a difference. I recommend a handful of nuts or seeds every day. It can be at breakfast, as an afternoon snack. It's practical, tasty, and it works. Food 1. Beetroot, the king of nitric oxide. The right dose and how to consume beetroot correctly. Food 2. Spinach, the testosterone manufacturer. Fourth food. Dark chocolate. And look, when I say dark chocolate, I mean the kind with at least 70% cocoa, okay? Not that milk chocolate full of sugar you buy at the supermarket. Dark chocolate is rich in flavonoids, compounds that improve blood circulation. And look, anything that improves circulation improves erections. It's that simple. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that cocoa flavonoids reduce blood pressure and improve blood vessel function. That means more blood getting where it needs to go, when it needs to. But there's more. Dark chocolate also releases endorphins and serotonin in your brain, the hormones of pleasure and well-being. So you not only improve the physical side, but also boost mood, drive, and desire. Now, a point someone raised in the comments that's very important. Chocolate has sugar. Even the dark kind has a bit. So if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, you need to be careful with portions. I recommend no more than 30 grams per day. That's about 3 or 4 squares. And always choose the purest possible, with the least sugar. And look, if you have diabetes, before increasing your intake of any of these foods, especially beetroot and chocolate, talk to your doctor. Beetroot has natural sugars, and juice concentrates them, so caution is needed. Yes, fifth and final food, watermelon. That's right, that fruit you eat in the summer at the beach. Watermelon is surprising. It's rich in citrulline, an amino acid that your body converts to arginine, which in turn becomes nitric oxide again. See how perfect nature is? Italian researchers found that men who consumed watermelon extract saw erection improvements comparable to medication. Obviously, watermelon isn't as potent as a drug, but the effect is there. And the best part? Watermelon is delicious, refreshing, and easy to find. You can eat the fruit plain, make juice, or even fruit salad. The key is regular consumption. But let me tell you something. The highest concentration of citrulline isn't in the red part of the watermelon. It's in the white part, the rind, just under the green skin. So when you eat watermelon, try to include a bit of that white part too. Food 3. Nuts and seeds. Zinc and energy bombs. Alternatives for those who can't chew. Now, let's talk about how to put all this together practically. Because there's no point in giving you all this info if you can't apply it day to day, right? Look, I created a simple routine for my patients and it works great. In the morning, at breakfast, eat a handful of nuts or seeds. It can be with yogurt, plain, or in a smoothie. At lunch, include a salad with beetroot and spinach, or cooked beetroot or sautéed spinach. Vary it so you don't get bored. In the afternoon, have a few squares of dark chocolate with your coffee. It's tasty and effective. And look, if you're planning a special moment, drink a glass of beetroot juice 2 hours beforehand or eat a generous slice of watermelon. Now, let me tell you something I've learned in these 30 years of practice. Dietary changes don't work miracles overnight. You need consistency. You'll start noticing the first results in 2 to 3 weeks, but truly significant improvements come after 2 to 3 months of proper eating. And look, it's not just about eating these foods. No. You also need to avoid certain things. Too much soda, daily fried foods, excess sugar, excessive alcohol, all that gets in the way. Your body is a machine, and you need to put the right fuel in it. I'll tell you a real story. I had a patient, I'll call him Mr. Jose to preserve his privacy. Jose came to my office at 68, completely discouraged. He said, "Doctor, I think my intimate life is over. I don't feel anything anymore. Nothing works." I talked to him a lot, ran some tests, and found nothing serious. It was just a matter of habits. I advised him to change his diet, including all these foods I mentioned. 3 months later, Jose came back, and I'll never forget his face. He had a smile from ear to ear. He told me he felt 40 again, that the energy was back, everything was working, and even his wife had commented on the difference. And the best part? He didn't take any medication. It was just diet. Of course, it doesn't work the same for everyone. Each case is unique, but it does work. Food 4. Dark chocolate, flavonoids, and pleasure. Precautions for diabetics with sugar. Now let me be very clear about something important. These foods are preventive and supportive. If you have severe erectile dysfunction, uncontrolled diabetes, or serious heart issues, you do need medical care. Diet helps a lot, but it doesn't replace treatment when treatment is necessary. And another thing, if you take blood pressure medication, especially those containing nitrates like monocordial, you need to be very careful with excessive beetroot intake. The combination can drop your pressure too low, so always talk to your doctor. Look, I know a lot of people think that after 60 or 70, intimate life is over, but that's a lie. I treat men in their 80s who have active and satisfying intimate lives. The difference is in the care, the diet, the lifestyle. That's why some 65-year-old men have stronger erections than 30-year-olds. They take care of their health, eat right, exercise, don't smoke, don't drink excessively. Your body responds to what you do with it. So let me give you a few more practical tips. First, hydration. Drink water, my friend. A lot of water. At least 2 liters a day. Dehydration reduces blood volume, and that hinders everything, including erections. Second tip, physical exercise. You don't need to become an athlete, but a 30-minute walk every day makes a huge difference. Exercise improves circulation, boosts testosterone, reduces stress, and enhances overall health. Third tip, quality sleep. Your body produces testosterone during sleep. If you sleep poorly, your testosterone drops. So prioritize your sleep. Turn off the lights, put away your phone, create a routine. Fourth tip, manage stress. Stress is a silent killer of libido and erections. High cortisol crashes testosterone. So find ways to relax. Meditation, fishing, playing dominoes with friends. The key is having outlets. Now let's talk about supplementation. A lot of people ask me, Doctor, do I need zinc supplements, magnesium supplements? Look, the answer is, it depends. If you eat these foods regularly, you probably don't need them. But if your diet is poor or you can't include these foods, then supplementation can help. But pay attention. Never self-medicate. Excess supplements can harm you. Too much zinc, for example, can interfere with the absorption of other minerals. So if you want to supplement, see a doctor or nutritionist for proper guidance. And look, let me tell you about those miracle supplements you see advertised online, like increase your size in 30 days or guaranteed erection for 48 hours. Most are scams. There's no miracle. What there is consistent healthcare. Now, one thing I can't skip: smoking. If you smoke, quit. Seriously. Cigarettes destroy your blood vessels, and erections depend on healthy blood vessels. No food in the world can compensate for the damage smoking does. So if you really want to improve your intimate life, quit smoking. And alcohol. Look, an occasional beer won't kill you, but excess drinking is terrible for testosterone, erections, everything. So moderation, always. Food 5. Watermelon. The surprising amino acid citrulline. Let's quickly recap to lock it in. Beetroot, spinach, nuts and seeds, dark chocolate, watermelon. These are the 5 powerful foods. Include them in your routine. Eat them regularly, and you'll see the difference. But remember, it's not just about adding these. You need a balanced diet overall. Quality protein, varied veggies, fruits, good fats, avoid processed foods, too much frying, excess sugar. And look, I know changing habits isn't easy. We have busy lives. Sometimes it's easier to grab a pastry at the bakery than make a salad. But think of it this way. You only have one body, and it needs to last the rest of your life. So it's worth investing in it. Let me give you one last tip. Involve your partner in this. Make it a couples project. Cook together. Try new recipes. Turn it into something enjoyable. Intimate life isn't just about the act. It's about complicity, mutual care. And look, if after 3 months of applying all this you see no results at all, see a doctor. There might be a hormonal issue, circulatory problem, or something that needs deeper investigation. But in most cases, these simple changes make a huge difference. So that's it, my friend. More energy, more desire, more confidence. And yes, a more satisfying intimate life than you haven't had in decades. All this is possible. Nature gave us powerful tools. Now it's up to you. If this video was helpful, share it with that friend who needs to hear this. And leave in the comments which of these foods you already eat, and which one you'll start including in your routine. I love reading the comments and answering your questions.